All right, welcome back to another what I'm calling precision baseball. Game of precision baseball. That's a sort of code name for it. I don't know if that's going to be the final name or not, but I got to have something to call it. So this is a new baseball game I'm developing, sort of starting from the ground up and going with 3D10 dice roll, and it's a 50-50 game. And we have a couple of teams here, so I've gone through and completed the pitcher cards and the batter cards for 2022. And so I have Atlanta at Baltimore from 2022, and it's going to be Jordan Lyles pitching for Baltimore and Max Fried going for the Braves. We have all of our relief pitchers here, so I've got everybody sort of separated out. And just to show you how the game has changed, I made the cards a little bigger, so I have a 3 across sort of layout here now. And just wanted to show you what that would look like. They would come as a 9 to a page. And I don't have a picture of the old cards, but the old cards came, they were about to right there, so they were a little bit more square. You get another inch or inch and a half now at the bottom. My plan is to put the stats on the back side of the cards, so if you wanted to print that out you could. If you didn't want the backs, then no big deal, but basically you would just print out the front side of the card, and then however your printer does the other side of the card. So for mine, it's leaving it face up with the printed side up, and then it'll do the back side. But however your printer does it, you would print the back side file as well, and then you would have the statistics. And I'm hoping to incorporate some imagery into the back side of the card. That way you would have an image of a player, or you could take your own images and put them on there, sort of like I did with triple threat basketball. And then you know, maybe if you just want to do all stars or star players or that kind of thing, it might be a little bit easier to find a photo online of that. And then you could add, you know, anything really. There'll just be a section there that you could put a cropped image into. For triple threat basketball, I put the team logo there and on top of the image. So I just created those myself, just finding some images. I can't sell that because I don't have the license for it, so that's not something that is going to be a part of the official set, but you will be able to take your own photos as long as you're not reselling these cards. It is totally legit for you to use just whatever images for your own personal use. Okay, so let's go through this game. It's going to be the Braves at Baltimore. Ronald Acuna leading off in right, Olsen at first, Riley at third, Marcell Ozuna at DH, Ozzie Albies is at second, Travis d'Arnaud catching, Adam Duvall in left, Michael Harris the second in center, and Dansby Swanson at short. For the Orioles, it's Mullins in center, Rutschman at catcher, Mancini is DHing, Santander in right field, Mountcastle at first, Hayes in left, Odor at second base, Urias at third, and Mateo is the shortstop. Going for the Orioles is Lyles, and going for the Braves is Maxwell Fried. Both have a stamina of 24, so we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. That's batters faced. And again, we're going to roll 3D10s and read them red, white, and blue like this. And this is going to be our decider die. 1 to 3 goes to the batter, 4 to 6 goes to the pitcher, and then we're just going to read our 3 digits off of whichever one. If it's a hit off of the pitcher, then we will roll again, and then we'll roll off of this hits box here on the pitcher card. There are some players. Let's see, I think Riley is one of them. He should be in here. Some players have some special markings here. Hopefully you can see that. It says versus left, and that just means that versus a left-hand pitcher, which Jordan Lyles is not, but if they bring in a reliever who's a lefty, then he will automatically have the control of the at-bat. We won't even pay attention to the decider die. Same thing happens if there's a pitcher. Let's see, I know. So AJ Minter also has one. And so anytime he's facing a left-handed batter, he's automatically going to control the at-bat. If, let's say, a left-hander who has a special sort of ability against lefties a pitcher is facing someone like Riley who hits the ball well against left-handed pitching, then those cancel each other out, and basically you'll just have to roll the decider die. So if there's no advantage, then you just treat it like a normal roll. You could also, however you feel, if you think that the pitcher still has the advantage in those at-bats, then you could just give the pitcher the at-bat or the advantage so that the pitcher sort of trumps everybody. That's one way to do it as well. There's another one that's called clutch. So anytime there's a runner at third base, that player will have control of the at-bat. So if it's a batter, he'll have control of the at-bat. If it's a pitcher, then he'll have control of the at-bat. And again, if they are facing each other, then you just roll it like a regular roll. But that's one of those things, like there's a little advantage to the batter by going to the batter card. There's a little advantage to the pitcher by going to the pitcher card. So that's one way to kind of sway the advantage of the at-bat for players who have a special ability. For the players who have a versus left-handed batting, that is a WOBA of 400 or better against left-handed pitching. For the pitchers, it is a FIP of 1 or less against left-handed batters. So, it's just a handful of players all throughout the major leagues. But these are like the extreme cases of players who are excellent against left-handed batters or left-handed pitching. For the clutch, for the batters, it is a PLI of, I want to say it's 2 or more. I can't remember exactly, but for pitchers, what do I use for pitchers? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look again at the exact numbers, but basically I used the leverage index, which is a sabermetric, not an estimate, but it's a calculation of how that player did in high leverage situations. So a runner at third base is obviously going to be a high leverage situation, any part of the game. But I plan to create a little chart that lets you know that there are other high leverage situations as well, especially as you get into the later innings. So that's where we are. And let's get this one started. It'll be Acuna, Olsen, and Riley. And they're facing off against Jordan Lyles. You can see here I do have some asterisks. And I think Santander has a hash. And so those represent the same things they represent on a site like Baseball Reference or whatever. A hash is a switch hitter, an asterisk is a left-handed hitter, and then or pitcher. So Fried is a left-handed pitcher. So you get sort of that designation because you're looking at him and maybe you're thinking, well, how do you know that he's left-handed? But that's how you'll know. So there's a designation at the player name. Matt Olson is a left-handed batter, but Acuna is right-handed, so he's got no marking there. So that's how you know the right-handers. So Acuna facing off against Lyles. This is going to go to the pitcher, and we read it red, white, and blue. So we read it like that. It's a 962, and right off the bat, it's going to be a hit for Acuna. And so we're going to roll against these hits here. It's a 235. 235 is going to be a base knock. So Ronald is on with a single in the first. And get rid of my bench players here. Do the same thing. there. So I just separated out sort of this is the most common lineup for each team. It's not as played or anything like that. Matty Olson to the plate, again to the pitcher. This time it is an 877, another hit. And the 416 is going to be another base hit, so it's going to be back-to-back singles for the Braves. And they have 2 on with nobody out, and Austin Riley to the plate. This one goes to Riley, and it will be a 180. 180 is going to be a fly out, so that'll be out number 1. 1 out, 2 on for Marcell Ozuna. This one goes to Ozuna. 417 for Ozuna is going to be a line drive out, so that's going to be 2 down, and the Braves in danger here of squandering an opportunity. Next up is going to be Ozzie Albies batting left-handed against the right-hander. And this is going to be a 185. 185 is going to be a ground ball out, and Lyles gets out of that one with no runs given up. 2 hits, 2 left on for the Braves, and they can't bring them home. So we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It'll be Ced Mullins, Adley Rutschman, and Trey Mancini against Maxwell Fried. For Mullins, that's going to be a 125. That's going to be a ground out. So out number 1. Next up is Adley Rutschman, the all-star catcher. That goes to Fried, and it's a 629. 629 is going to be a strikeout for Max Fried. 2 down in the inning, and that's Trey Mancini up. He's DHing in this one. This goes to Mancini's card. A 546 is going to be a strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for back-to-back Ks for Max Fried, and Baltimore goes down 1-2-3 in the 1st. That's going to bring up Travis d'Arnaud, Adam Duvall, and Michael Harris II in the top of the 2nd. So this goes to the batter, and it's going to be a 377. That'll be a fly out. So d'Arnaud flies out for out number 1. Adam Duvall to the plate. He had gotten hurt at some point about halfway through the year, but part of their most recent or their most used lineup for sure. So let's go to the pitcher. That will be a 747, just like the airplane, and that's going to be a wild pitch. So we're going to go ahead and roll again. Nobody's on base, so there's no effect there for the wild pitch. So this goes to the batter. A 552 is going to be a strikeout. So he gets Duvall with the strikeout. I'll bring up Rookie of the Year, Michael Harris II. Harris, the left-handed batter against the right-hander Lyles. This goes to the batter, and that's going to be a 693. 693 will be a walk. So Harris heads down to 1st, and that'll bring up Dansby Swanson for the Braves. 2 down with a runner at first base. Swanson's first at bat is going to be a 977, and that's going to be hit deep and far to right center field as Dansby Swanson goes yard off of Jordan Lyles. That'll be a 2-run jack as Harris comes home to score. Gives Swanson the old high five at the plate. And we swing it back to the top of the order. It'll be Ronald Acuna Jr. playing right field in this one. Acuna 1 for 1 with a single. And he might have more than that here. A 906. 906 is going to be another base knock for Ronald. And with Baltimore down by 2, Matty Olson stands in, and he's facing off against Jordan Lyles. This one goes to the pitcher. That will be a 660. 660 is going to be a K. So Olsen strikes out, and that's going to end the inning. But the Braves do get 2 runs on 2 hits, and they strand 1. And it's 2-0 Braves as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. For Baltimore, it's going to be Santander, Mountcastle, and Hayes. This goes to the batter. This will be a 206. 206 is going to be a fly ball out. And that'll be out number 1. Next up is Ryan Mountcastle, young first baseman. This goes to the batter card. That'll be a 723. 723 is going to be a walk. So Fried gives up his first walk of the game. And we head to Austin Hayes, the left fielder for the O's. Orioles looking to put some offense together here in the 2nd inning. It is a 262 off of Fried's card. That's going to be another fly ball out. So 2nd out of the inning. And that brings up Odor. Odor, the 2nd baseman. This goes off the pitcher card again. A 380 is going to be another fly ball. So 3 fly ball outs. And that gets the Braves out of the 2nd inning. No runs on no hits, 1 left on. Fried gives up his first walk of the day, and that's going to take us to the top of the 3rd inning. With Austin Riley coming to the plate against Jordan Lyles, the Braves are up 2-0 in this one. 163 is going to be a fly ball out for Riley. Brings up Ozuna, the DH. He had a line drive out in his last at bat. This time he's got a 347. 347 is going to be a fly ball out, so it gets under it a little bit. And that brings us to Ozzie Albies, switch hitting 2nd baseman, all-star 2nd baseman. He grounded out in his first at bat. In this at bat, he's going to have an 892. 892 is going to be a base knock, so that's a 2-out hit for Ozzie Albies. And he's standing at first base for Travis d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud, all-star catcher in 2022. This goes off of Lyles' card. A 963 is going to be a hit, so let's see what kind of hit that is. It's a 347. 347 is a base knock. And with 2 outs, I like to give the runners an extra base. So we got runners now at 1st and 3rd with 2 down. And Adam Duvall coming to the plate. This is off the pitcher card. It's a 115, and a 115 is going to be a ground out. That's going to end the inning. The Braves strand 2. No runs on 2 hits and 2 left on. And we head to the bottom of the 3rd, and still 2-0 Braves. It'll be Urias, Mateo, and then back to the top of the order with Mullins. And let's see if Baltimore can get something going here. Let's be an 878. 878 is going to be a base knock for Urias, the 3rd baseman. So Baltimore gets 1 on with nobody out, and Jorge Mateo, shortstop, stands in against Maxwell Fried. This is off Fried's card. This is going to be 829. That's a hit off of the pitcher. And the hit is a 453. That'll be another base hit. So back-to-back singles for the O's. And they are in business with 2 on and nobody out. And Ced Mullins coming to the plate. 3 is off the batter. This is a 278. 278 is going to be a fly ball out. And that's not going to advance any runners. So 1 down now with Adley Rutschman coming to the plate. Dangerous switch hitting catcher. You can tell he's a switch hitter because he's got the hash. And so we got off the batter card. A 437 is going to be a line drive out. And that's not going to advance any runners. So 2 down now as Fried trying to get out of this situation. 1st and 2nd with nobody out. Now it's first and second with 2 outs. And looks like he's going to do it. This is going to be a 99. A 99 is a ground ball out from a ground ball from Trey Mancini. And 3 good pitches there from Max Fried gets them out of the inning, having given up no runs on 2 hits, 2 left on for the O's. And we head to the top of the 4th inning. It's Atlanta over Baltimore, 2-0. B. Michael Harris the second, Dansby Swanson, and then back to the top of the order with Acuna. Acuna 2 for 2 in this one. And this goes off the pitcher card, so this is a 408. 408 is going to be a line drive out. And that's out number 1. Harris hit it hard, but right at the fielder. And that brings up Dansby Swanson, the shortstop. Saw Swanson's card. 504. 504 will be a strikeout for the shortstop. Swanson now 1 for 2. He did have the 2-run homer, which is how the Braves got their 2 runs. And we bring up a Ronald Acuna Jr., 2 for 2 in this one. This is going to go off the pitcher card. And a 724. 724 is going to be a walk, so he gets on base for the 3rd time in this game. Acuna standing at first with 2 down, and Matty Olson come to the plate. Could be a big one here. This is Lyles. 957 is going to be a hit. And let's see what kind of hit. A 375 is going to be a base knock, so that will be a base hit to right field. Acuna is around to third base, and we have 2 on with 2 outs. And Austin Riley, who was an MVP candidate for most of the year last year, stands in. He's got a 548. 548 is going to be a strikeout. So in a big leverage situation, he strikes out for the 3rd out of the inning. The Braves strand 2. They don't score any in the top of the 4th, and we head to the bottom of the 4th. Still 2-0 Braves, as both pitchers pitching pretty well. And Fried is going to be facing Santander, Mountcastle, and Hayes in this one. This is off for Fried's card. A 590 is going to be a strikeout. So the 1-2 3rd K of the day for Maxwell Fried brings up Mountcastle. Mountcastle with a walk in his first at bat. This time he is not so lucky. That's going to be a ground ball out, or out number 2. And Mountcastle sits down and makes way for Austin Hayes, the left fielder. Hayes flew out in his first at bat. This time he's going to fly out again. So a couple of flyouts in the game for him. 1, 2, 3 go the O's in the bottom of the 4th. And 2-0 is our score as we head to the top of the 5th inning. We're looking at our stamina here. I don't think anybody is in danger necessarily. That's 9. That's 18, 19, 20, 18, 19, 20, 21. So this is for Jordan Lyles. So maybe another inning for him. And then we have 9. So 18, 17, 16, 15. Only 15 for Fried. So Jordan Lyles getting close to his stamina, and then we'll just bring in somebody else after this. So it's going to be to Marcell Ozuna, the DH. A 764 is going to be a walk, 2nd walk of the day for Jordan Lyles. So Ozuna at first base, Ozzie Albies standing in. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Albies here with an 835. 835 is going to be another base hit. And station to station is Ozuna with less than 2 outs. So runners at first base and second base for Travis d'Arnaud. We may not let Jordan Lyles stay out there too long if he gives up too many more runs. This goes to the batter. This is going to be a 95. 95 is going to be a ground out. We're going to call this a fielder's choice, which is what I've been doing. So they get the guy at 3rd, and runner goes to 2nd. So runner's still at 1st and 2nd, and 1 out now for Adam Duvall. See if Jordan Lyles can sneak out of this one. It's going to be his last inning anyway. A 5. A 5 is a 6-11. 6-11 is going to be a strikeout, and he is 1 pitch closer to getting out of this one. That's going to bring up Michael Harris, the second. Left-handed center fielder for the Braves. This is off the pitcher card. And 8-14, that's going to be a base hit. And this is going to chase Lyles, I think. Let's see what it is. A 399. 399, it's going to be a base knock. And that's going to score 1. That's going to put runners at the corners. So a run scoring single from Michael Harris. And it is a 3-0 game. Let's see if he can get Swanson. If he can't, we go to the top of the order. We'll have to take him out. A 182, 182 off the pitcher card is going to be a ground out. So that is out number 3. But the Braves do score 1 on 2 hits. They leave 2, and the score is now 3-0 Braves. So we're going to remove him in the next inning. He's at his limit anyways at 27 batters. So I don't pull them at the moment, but I pull them if they try to go out there after they've reached their limit. I don't have any penalty system here. I guess you could just say it always comes off the batter. Maybe that's one way to sort of penalize them if you want to keep them out there past the stamina. I'm thinking about that too. Max Fried, on the other hand, is nowhere close. He's at 15 batters, and he's facing Odor. This is going to come off the batter card. 958. 958 is going to be a double. So Odor rips one down the line, and he's standing at second with nobody out. It's going to bring up Urias. Urias 1 for 1. Bottom of the order is where the hits are coming from in this one. 481. 481 is going to be a strikeout for Max Fried. Big strikeout there as he gets out number 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jorge Mateo to the plate. Mateo, chance here. That's a 756 off the batter card, and that'll be a walk. So that puts runners at first and second with only 1 out. And a big fly here will tie the ball game. It's Seth Mullins to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. He's going to add another ground out here. So we'll call that just a fielder's choice. That's out number 2. And so he is at first on a fielder's choice. Again, I'm working through, adding base running and stuff like that. I feel like these cards are in a good place now for the batters and the hitters together. So we'll start working on base running next. This will be to Rutschman. A 417 is a line drive, but it's an out. And that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. As Fried strands 2 more, the O's get no runs on 1 hit. They leave 2, and we head to the top of the 6th inning. It's still 3-0 Atlanta over Baltimore. We need to get a new pitcher here. I have their relievers set out. Oh, I left this one in here just so you can get a sense of the size. So these are the old cards and these are the new cards. So you can get a sense of the size between those. Hopefully you can see it, So another inch or 2 given to the cards. What are we? We're in the 6th. And you can see here that they have Perez, the lefty. So kind of a lefty specialist if we need to bring him in. I don't even know where you'd bring him in against Olsen, maybe. Let's go ahead and bring in Baker. I'm not sure how they use their bullpen, so I have them set out in order of high leverage to low leverage, or most used to least used kind of thing. So it's going to be Baker. Baker is a right-hander. 5 innings for Lyles. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. Oof, 3 runs. It's not as bad as it could have been. He did give up 3 walks, and he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks. So that will close the book on him, and he is on the hook for the loss at this point. So we'll see if the O's come back and help him out. It's going to be Ronald Acuna Jr. and then Olson and Riley, top 3 against Brian Baker for the O's. Baker controls. A 932 is going to be a base hit off of him. Let's see what kind of hit. And 838 is going to be a double, as Acuna with another hit laces one off of the pitcher. See, he puts a mistake out over the plate, and Ronald is at second now with nobody out. Leadoff double for Acuna. Acuna 3 for 3 with a walk, 2 singles and a double. Brings up Matty Olson. This is off the pitcher again. 803, another hit. So this is not going well for Mr. Baker. 111 is a base knock, and with 2 outs, or with nobody out, we're going to keep him at first or third base. So it'll be first and third for the Braves, with Austin Riley coming to the plates. A 4 is going to go to the pitcher again. A 983 is going to be another hit off of Baker, and it's not going so well for him. 532, another double. This one to the right center field gap, and that's going to put Olson at third. That's going to score Acuna, and that's an RBI double for Austin Riley. Things not going well for Brian Baker, as the Braves lead now 4-0 over the Orioles. Another one off the pitcher. I'm afraid to look. 602, a better outcome here as he strikes out Marcell Ozuna, and that's out number 1. So only 1 out. Runners at second and third, and Ozzie Albies coming to the plate. Albies is 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a run scored. A 538 is going to be another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks from Baker as he's starting to settle down. And that will bring up Travis d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud 1 for 3. Single scores 2. And let's see what he comes up with. This is going to be an 834. That'll probably do it. It does. That's going to be a 2-out base hit for Travis d'Arnaud as he brings home both runners on the 2-out single and clears the bases. So that's going to be, I think, all for Baker. I don't think we can leave him in there. So maybe tight. Not sure. So we're going to get a pitching change here. We had a pitching change there. And he goes 2/3 of an inning. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And at least 3 runs at this point. No walks and 2 Ks. And we'll see how Dylan Tate does. Hopefully he fares better against this offense than his pitching mates. And it'll be Adam Duvall. Duvall 0 for 3 with a couple of Ks. And Dylan Tate to the plate. This will be an 855. That's a base hit. And that'll be an 870. 870 is going to be a jack as Adam Duvall gets hold of one. And he goes yard on a 2-run home run. And this one is getting out of hand very quickly, as the Braves now have put up 5 runs in the 6th, and it doesn't matter who they throw out there, the O's are just getting hammered. And that's going to be an 8-0 lead now for Atlanta. Michael Harris, 609 is going to be a strikeout, so That will mercifully end the inning. But the Braves put up 5 runs on 3, 4, 5 hits. Nobody left on. And 2 pitchers used up for the Orioles in that 6th. So we had to, I guess we finished that off. So 1 of those runs goes here. So that's 4 runs to him and 1 run to Tate. Max Fried still cruising in this one, as he now has an 8-run lead. He'll be facing off against Mancini, Santander, and Mountcastle. An 887 is off of the batter card. That's going to be a base knock for Trey Mancini, as he gets the 6th inning started for the O's. Off the batter card again, this time it's a 458. 458 is going to be a line drive out. And that's out number 1. So 1 down with a runner at first base for Ryan Mountcastle. Fried with the pitch, it's a 472. That's going to be another line drive out. And that'll be 2 down. And we head to Austin Hayes, the left fielder. This goes to Max Fried. A 670 off of Fried's card is going to be a strikeout, as he lays the big curve in there. Hayes can't handle it, and that's going to be 3 down in the inning. So they get a leadoff single from Mancini, but can't get him around to score. And we head to the top of the 7th inning. 8-0 is our score, and Dansby Swanson will be up first. Everything is staying on the camera here. Dansby Swanson, he's got a 2-run home run. Otherwise, he struck out and grounded out. He's facing off against Dylan Tate. 343 is going to be a line drive out. So that is out number 1 in the inning, and brings up the man, Ronald Acuna. Acuna 3 for 3 with a single as well. A 516. This is going to be the first time they get him out, as he hits a hard line drive, but that's going to wind up in a glove, and that's going to be 2 down now. Matty Olson to the plate, first baseman for the Braves. This was his first year coming over in the trade with Oakland. And this will be a 454. 454 will be a strikeout. So Olson goes down on strikes for the 2nd time in the game. He is now 2 for 4. I'm sorry, 3 for 5. 3 for 5. But the Braves go down 1-2-3 in the 7th. Nice job by Dylan Tate coming in and righting the ship. And it will be Fried against, let's see, where are we? 27, 26, 25, 24. So another inning, and then we'll pull him out. Odor, Urias, and Mateo. Odor is 1 for 2. He had a double in his last at bat. This time he's going to ground out. 1 for 3 now for the 2nd baseman. Brings up Urias, the young 3rd baseman. A 671 off the pitcher card will be a strikeout. Fried goes with the changeup and gets him way out front. And that's going to be out number 2. Mateo, the 9th place hitter, is standing in against Max Fried. Fried, a very strong start so far. A 347. 347 is going to be a fly ball, and that will end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Birds in the bottom of the 7th inning. Fried cruising. And we're going to leave Tate in there. He's faced 2, 4, 5. We'll leave him in there, see if he can get through this inning. Just eat a few innings here. Austin Riley to the plate. A 308 off the pitcher card is going to be a fly ball. So Riley flies out for out number 1. And that'll bring up Ozuna. Ozuna 0 for 3. One of the few Braves not hitting in this one. And that's going to be a 96. That trend will continue as he grounds out, hits a 2-hopper to short. And that's going to be out number 2. Brings up Ozzy Albies. Albies is 2 for 4. Struck out his last at bat. He does have a couple of singles. This is a 777, and that's going to be a walk. Just inside the walk range, as Albies is on base for the 3rd time. And he's on ahead of Travis d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud 2 for 4. This will be, actually I think he's 2 for 3. I don't think we count a fielder's choice as an at bat, but I can't remember. That's a 1, and a 1 goes to d'Arnaud. A 204 is going to be a grounder, and that'll be out number 3 as the Braves are out of the 8th. No runs on no hits, 1 left on, and we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll have a new pitcher in the 9th, so we'll take Tate out. He did a very admirable job. Admirable. Came in and pitched, so he's got the 1/3 of an inning plus 2. So 2 1/3. And gave up one hit, 1 run. Remember, this run here was charged to Baker. 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 K. So 1's all around for this guy. Oh, sorry, 2 Ks. So 1 here and 1 there. So nice relief appearance from Tate to settle everything down. We're just going to leave Max Fried in there. And because he's past his stamina, we'll let everything come off of the pitcher card. We'll see how long this goes before it gets out of hand. So it's going to be a 97. That's going to be a ground out for Seb Mullins. And that'll be out number 1. Rutschman to the plate now. He is 0 for 3. It would help if I rolled all the dice, but not necessarily that we need to roll that one. A 408 off of the batter card is going to be a line drive out. So that's 2 outs in the inning. In fact, we can put that away. Simplify things just a little bit since they're all coming off of the batter cards because he's past his stamina. Don't know if that's going to be the official rule, but a nice, quick, and easy one to determine, you know, some sort of penalty for stamina. A 451 will be a strikeout for Trey Mancini. 1-2-3 inning for Max Fried in the bottom of the 8th inning. Closing in on a complete game. Let's see if he can finish it out. If not, we'll bring in the bullpen. Speaking of bullpens, we're going to get one more come in for one more to come in for the Birds. Let's use Perez. Perez, you can see, has a left-handed specialist designation. He's going to be a lefty. Well, he is a lefty. Let's see, he's designated as a left-hander. He's facing off against Adam Duvall. Duvall with a 2-run homer in his last at-bat. This one is going to go out the pitcher because everything... Oh, I'm sorry. It'll go off the batter because Duvall is a right-hander. So this only counts against lefties. That's a 444. 444 is going to be a line drive out. So hit hard, but right at a fielder. And sorry, I had the wrong card, so that's going to be a strikeout. Harris the second is up now. Michael Harris with an RBI single on this one. Now Harris is a left-hander. Perez is left-handed, so it doesn't matter what happens. It's coming off of him because he's got a left-handed specialty card. So 633 is going to be a strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Perez. And we head to last batter of the game for the Braves. Dansby Swanson, barring a hit. This will be off of Swanson's card. A 548 is going to be a strikeout. So Perez comes in and strikes out the side. That's going to end his inning. So 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 3 Ks. Impressive appearance there from Perez. And that's going to bring up Baltimore in the bottom of the 9th inning. They're down 8-0. Max Fried still out on the mound. Everything coming off of the Baltimore side. He'll face Santander, Mountcastle, and Hayes. So Fried has been in control the entire game. A 157 is going to be a fly ball for Mancini. That's out number 1. Ryan Mountcastle, the first baseman, standing in. A 134 is going to be a ground ball, induced by Maxwell Fried. And Fried, one more out, will complete the shutout. Impressive start on the road. He's facing Hayes, a 631, and he's going to accentuate it with a high fastball as he gets Hayes swinging through it. And that's going to be 3 up, 3 down in the 9th inning. And Max Fried takes care of business with an 8-0 shutout against the Orioles in Baltimore. Let me put this on pause and I'll come back with the totals. All right, and we're back with the totals. Maxwell Fried is going to be our player of the game. The Braves win this one 8-0 on 14 hits. Nobody had any errors because we're not doing fielding yet, but 14 hits. Only 4 hits for the Orioles as Fried goes 9 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. He'll get the win. Lyles is going to take the loss. 5 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 5 Ks. Rough patch here for Baker. Only 2/3 of an inning, gave up 4 runs. Tate came in and settled things down, and Perez closed things out, but it was too little too late as the Orioles were baffled by the left-hander Max Fried. Fried, number 2 in Cy Young voting, so no real surprise there. And Baltimore sort of starting to come into their own, but still pretty young last year. And nobody really bunched much together. Got a lot of production and at least base runners down in the bottom of the order, but top of the order just couldn't produce. For the Braves, they got production all around, especially in this 6th inning here. Almost every starter had an RBI. Everybody except for Albies, Ozuna, Olsen, and Acuna, but everybody else had at least 1 RBI. Riley with 1 run driven in, Darno with 2, Duvall with 2, Swanson a 2-run home run. So they were getting firepower from up and down the lineup. Tons of runs scored here, and in many different ways, which is really good to see. So I'm codenaming this Precision Baseball. Don't know if that's the best name or not, but it's what I'm trying to do, is to create a very precise game by doing a 50-50 split, and then hopefully can get really accurate results based off of that 50-50 split, because we're really sort of containing the results to the batter and pitcher cards. Now there is a little bit of interaction here on the hits, but really this should align with the batter's hit percentages, hit type percentages. I guess hit result percentages is the better word. And got lots of cards here, so you can see, we got all of our starters here. Got our relievers for the Braves. Even got some guys who didn't throw too much. If a guy pitched 10 innings, he got carded. If he had at least 30 at-bats, or 30 plate appearances, sorry, then he also got carded. So quite a few players here. And even guys, bottom of the starting pitcher pile. I think Mueller had a couple of starts. Davidson had 2, 3, 4 starts. So you get quite a few players. Not every single player who got into a game, but you get a lot of players here. And yeah, the game is going to continue to flesh itself out. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about the game, just let me know. It moves really quickly, and plays very simply and very easily. Nice flow to it. I don't know if it's going to flow as well when we include fielding or not, but hopefully I'll definitely make sure that it is not so difficult to play. So I'll round off the corners of that and make it not quite so difficult, even if there is some complexity to the fielding and to the base running. If you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments section below. Suggestions for base running, suggestions for fielding. If any of this doesn't feel right to you, you know, if there's a way to sort of make this better, put that down in the comments. This game, if you ever wanted to get in on the ground floor of a game and, you know, let your input be known for a game, then this is it. This is literally starting from scratch, and I'm showing everyone a lot farther toward the beginning of the game than I typically do. So if you have any suggestions, put them out there. You can also email me at onbasebaseball@gmail.com, and I'll receive that email. If you have like longer thoughts that you want to put out there, you just don't want to put them in public, then you can email me, and that would be fine. All you need are 3D10 dice, different colors, and you need one decider die. It can be another D10, it can be a D6, it can be whatever you want. It just needs to be an even number so that you can have one be the advantage for half of it, one be the advantage for the other half. You could have a blank and a dot, you know, whatever kind of decider die you want. In the future, I think I will require it to be a D6, or maybe even something else, but a D6, because I'm going to start tying some different results, like maybe directional results, that type of thing, to this die here. So it may turn out that you just need to use a D6. They're super common and easy to find one. I think that's it. So the Braves win this one 8-0 behind a great Max Fried start. Shutout, 9 innings, a complete game shutout, and we just let him go. And like I said, to account for him going past his stamina, I just gave the hitters the advantage every time. You can see that doesn't mean it's going to be a raucous run scoring fest, but it is, you know, a 767 is where the hits start for the batter. On the pitcher card, it doesn't start until almost 800, so you can see that there is what is that? That's about a 30%, 31%. I'm sorry. It's about a 3% better chance from Maxwell Fried's card. But if you were here, it would be a 6% chance better than Perez to get a hit. So you can see there is some advantage to the batter card. I also thought about, well, what if the first time through the order it's the pitcher's advantage? Second time through the order, you just roll with the decider die. There's no real advantage. And third time through the order and fourth time through the order, it's always the batters. So that might be a kind of a cool way to simulate going through the batting orders. And then you wouldn't have to necessarily think about stamina and things like that. But some of the new ways of going through pitching are to think about how many times through the batting order. So that might be kind of a fun way to do it, just to see how that would turn out. All right, I think that's it from here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe. If you click the little bell, then you'll be notified whenever I make new videos. I'm going to try to sort of think about how I'm doing videos. This is really just to show you how to play more than doing some sort of a replay or something like that. I want to show the game, and so you can see how to play it through the course of a game. But I probably won't do too many of these types of videos, but more introductory, and eventually it'll be a full-on introduction. And maybe I'll even get on the computer and see if I can bang out some, show you the spreadsheets that I used and how I got to some of these numbers, just so you can see all the sort of the background of the game and how we got to those places. So that might be something that I can show as well. And maybe this will go into the how to create a game kind of thing. But really, you're seeing all of the different steps that go into creating a game, creating a baseball game. You're seeing it from, where I started with the batters, and now we've added the pitching, and now we've got some little extras in here, and the next step will probably be base running and deciding on base running situations. That way, when there's a ground ball, what do you do? How do you handle those situations? And so maybe laying some of those things out, and then using base running numbers for running on the bases and stealing and stuff like that. So I think that's probably the next part. And then I have some big ideas for fielding. We'll see if they work out. And that'll probably be the last part, just to get fielding in there as a major part of the game. All right. I think that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.